أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله عبده ورسوله. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum to you dear viewers. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Atta, the host of this program. A commentary written in Farsi language by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli known as Adab-e Fana-e Muqarraban is the main basis for this program and this series of the programs, and we try to cover the main attributes and the main characters and the features that are enumerated by Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam in the text of the Ziyarah al-Jami'a al-Kabira. Before getting to the main discussion for today's episode, let's get to the short video clip and the speech of Ayatollah Javadi Amoli along with the English translation, and then we'll continue our discussion. We'll take a break, come back in a minute.
از وجود مبارک امام مجتبی مرحوم کلینی رضوان الله تعالی علیه نقل کرده است که انسان دو صحنه دارد، یکی اندیشه است، یکی انگیزه. با صحنه اندیشه عالم می شود، دانشمند می شود و می فهمد. با صحنه انگیزه وارسته می شود و کار خیر انجام می دهد. از وجود مبارک امام مجتبی سلام الله علیه سوال کردند سیاست چیست؟ مستحضرید کسی که سیاسی واقعی است و در زیارت جامعه امام هادی صلوات الله و سلامه علیه آمده است که به اهل بیت در مزار اونها در مشاهد مشرفه عرض میکنیم السلام علیکم یا ساسة العباد، ای سیاست مداران بندگان الهی. از امام مجتبی سوال کردند سیاست چیست؟ فرمود ان ترعی حقوق الله و حقوق الاحیا و حقوق الاموات. ببینید سیاست را امام مجتبی در اضلاع سگانه این مثلث با برکت معنا کرد. فرمود رابطه خود را با خدا از نظر شناخت خدا، اسما و اوصاف خدا، افعال و اقوال و آثار خدا، راهنمودهای خدا، عمل به دستورهای خدا مستحکم کنید. یک، رابطه تون را با زنده ها، اون که انسان است، رابطه انسانیتون را با او حفظ بکنید، به کسی خیانت نکنید، در عهد و پیمانتون وفادار باشید، خیر دیگران را بخواهید، حقوق احیا را زنده کنید. برخی ها مسلمانند، برخی ها اهل کتابند، برخی ها کافرند. فرمود شما به احدی ظلم نکنید. ظلم حرام است و رو نسبت به کافر، مگر اون کافر بخواهد محارب باشد و حمله کند و مسلمان ها را آزار کند. بخش سوم و ذیل سوم امواتن، حقوق اموات را رعایت کنید. اونا که کاری کردن، کتابی نوشتن، مدرسه‌ای ساختن، راهی را احداث کردن، پلی ساختن، خدماتی به جامعه ایجاد کردن، حق اونها را رعایت کنید. سیاست آن است که این انسان با خدایش رابطه ناگسستنی داشته باشد. اولا با جوامع بشری در سه بخش یعنی در سه بخش، هم بخش ملی و محلی، هم بخش منطقه‌ای، هم بخش بین‌المللی حفظ بکند. ما در بخش مسلمان ها بخش ملی و محلی ماست. در بخش با اهل کتاب که خدا را قبول دارن، وحی و نبوت قبول دارن، بخش منطقه‌ای ماست. بخش سوم بخش بین‌المللی ماست، زیرا ذات اقدس اله پیغمبر را به عنوان رحمتا للعالمین فرستاد، کتاب او را ذکرا للبشر فرستاد، نذیرا للبشر فرستاد، نذیرا للعالمین فرستاد، کافتا للناس فرستاد. ما پیغمبری باید فکر بکنیم، یعنی با جهان رابطه حسن داشته باشیم، مگر اونها بد کنند که ما ناچاریم قیام کنیم، وگرنه اساس بر این است که ما نسبت به تمام مردم روی زمین عادل و عاقل باشیم.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Atad, the host of this program. We've been in the studio for today's discussion to discuss another part of Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira based on Adab-e Fana-e Muqarraban. The commentary written by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli is Dr. Sheikh Jahangiri. Assalamu alaikum, Doctor, and welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum assalam, dear brother. Thank for the opportunity. Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Thank you for watching us and being in our program.
So, Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, we can say, issued a text, and this text is in the form of the Ziyarah, which can be read out and recited in front of or when visiting any type of tomb, or we can say the gravesite of the infallible Imams. So this is a general, we can say, a Ziyarah text, not a specific for or a specific Imam. When we read out this text of the Ziyarah, different attributes, or it's better to say characteristics of an Imam or in the system of imamates are enumerated. One important part is when Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam calls the Imams as Sasat al-Ibad. First of all, explain this for us. What does it mean by Sasat al-Ibad? Can we translate it into English language at all? Or if we can define it, what's the definition?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah, we reach to this great phrase of the Ziyarah, jamia, kebira, wa Sasat al-Ibad. Imam alayhi salam calls A'imma as Sasat al-Ibad. Sasa is derived from the word siyasa, means policy.
Okay.
So I'm sorry to say that today, by the actually work of the politicians, this great word has negative meaning. But by the way, that's why when you call that man as politician, something is presumptions comes to your mind.
The negative
meaning of, but actually Ahlul Bayt's teaching of the policy, then they inspired this word full of the virtues and values. Here we have, I would like to explain it. When we call them, they are Sasa, means they were politicians.
Yes.
They were not only a spiritual person. They were not only actually an isolated person from the society, just worshiping the God. No, they were attached to the society. They were involved with the issue of their community. They were engaged with the social issues of their life.
But they were not at all after politics. I mean, it was not a wish for them, for example, like the Umayyads or Abbasids or the Marwanids, to have the power and be on the throne of the power on the Islamic lands.
Because actually the power of their wish was to be granted from the Allah the Almighty, and they received it.
Okay.
So before, in their eyes, this kind of political power, there was nothing for them. That's why Imam Ali alayhi salam, when he reached to the power governing the society, Imam Ali says that it is very great responsibility for me. It has nothing for me, and he explains it in a way that for me it is more dirty than something you can explain it. If I can't do my responsibility, if I can serve to the humanity, it would be great grace of the Almighty. You see how power and policy in the eyes of Ahlul Bayt is different. By the way, Imam Hadi alayhi salam, in this phrase of the Ziyarah Jamia Kabira, he calls Ahlul Bayt as Sasat al-Ibad, means that, oh, you were not only isolated from the society, you were involved. And you were sasat al-ibad.
Yes.
Here is very important. Imam Ali says that, oh my community, I'm your imam, I'm your wali. You have to be obedient to me as well.
Okay.
Here, obedient never means that you have to be silent, nothing.
Yes.
Imam Ali granted actually freedom to the community.
Yes.
But obeying here means that when the wali is saying something and you know that there is philosophy beyond that, you have to obey it.
Okay.
Ahlul Bayt, they are sasatul ibad. I want to explain how Imam Hadi wisely explains this term, sasat al-ibad. There should be al-ibad, good people, the servant of the Allah the Almighty.
Yes. Yes.
If they are the servant of the Allah the Almighty, it is the position of Imam to lead the society.
So you mean the leader or an imam is the maintainer or the keeper of the affairs of not ordinary people or secular people, or it's better to say non-Muslims, servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala,
Yes.
in a society.
That's why whenever this community rejected Imam to accept him, they were not the servant of the Allah. They said that we are accepting the governing of the Umayyad.
For example, that's right.
In Damascus, they said that we are accepting the governing of the Yazid. Imam is not pushing himself to be in the power. Imam says that if you're not being the servant of the Allah, okay, you do not deserve the leadership of the Sasat al-Ibad, al-Imama. Your the Umayyah would be your leader, and you will see how the destiny would be. So
And they could see
first,
that, yes.
there is relationship. There is a very relevant relationship between Sasa and al-Ibad.
That's right.
Imama and al-Ibad.
That's right.
When the community is the servant of the Allah,
Yes.
so Imam will maintain their issues.
That's right.
But when the community is rejecting Imama, Imam is not a person to come and force the community, I have to be there. Imam says that when the atmosphere is not so, as Imam Ali alayhi salam, look the time of Imam Ali alayhi salam, when the community somehow they did not accept and welcome
Yes.
Imam Ali alayhi salam, Imam alayhi salam, he was maintaining the society but in a minor issue.
That's right. Okay. Thank you very much, Sheikh. It was very kind of you. He was deprived of his right position of imamate after Qadir Khum event. All the people know, both Sunni and Shia believes the late Allama Amini in the outstanding magnum opus great book Al-Ghadir has referred to many Sunni references claiming the position of imamate of Imam Ali alayhi salam, how who could lead the society and maintain the power among the Muslim Ummah, but unfortunately he was deprived of this divine right. Thank you much, Sheikh. It was very kind of you. Let's take a break, and after break we'll continue our discussion. Thank you much, dear viewers, for watching Friends of God in His Presence. Taking a break. I'm back in a minute.
ومعدن الرحمن وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهدى.
Assalamu alaikum to you again, and welcome back to another episode of the program Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Ata, the host of this program. Today, with the presence of Dr. Sheikh Jahangiri, we are discussing the phrase Sasat al-Abad. Is it so?
Yes.
Okay, Sasat al-Abad. So the Sasat al-Abad, the maintainers of the affairs of the people, and the imams were really in charge of taking care of the lives of the people of the Prophet Muhammad, which was bestowed upon him by the divine order in the position of imamate. They were deprived of the rights of leading the society or maintaining. Of course, they were the source of blessing, but they did not have the official powers, whether during, for example, the time of the caliphates, whether during the time of the Umayyads,
Or Abbasid.
or Marwanids, or Abbasids. Officially, they did not have the power, but behind the scene, They were the source of blessing and rahmah, mercy and bounty for all the people in the Muslim Ummah. Do you think that if they were given the power, they could be more successful in establishing a Muslim Ummah in the true sense of the word?
Why not? Look at the very short time of the leadership of the Imam Ali alayhi salam, how he maintained the issue of the Muslim Ummah on that period of the time. And the very wish of the Ummah would be in the future. And inshallah we'll explain and discuss about that. I would like to start from the time of the Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad in Mecca, there was not a huge number of the servant of al-Ibad there. Yes. Prophet Muhammad didn't establish governing and siyasa there.
Yes.
Just he was preaching.
Okay.
But when he reached to the Medina, the atmosphere was different.
Yes.
So there he established a policy. Again, I would like to say that the divine policy or maintaining the social issue of the Ummah. And he led the society, he governed the society. Actually, he established government. That, by the way, many historians and Westerner scholars, they call it as a golden age of the human being.
Okay.
So, to be the Sasat al-Ibad, first of all, the atmosphere should be able to the actually prepared to the Imam to be in his own position. Prophet Muhammad, when the atmosphere was not able there in the Mecca, he didn't establish government.
Okay.
But when the atmosphere was prepared in Medina, he did so. Sometimes the atmosphere is not actually prepared, and in some cases you are deprived from your own position.
Yes.
And during the history, we see that how Ahlul Bayt were deprived. And the position of Ahlul Bayt here is very important. Still, they are deprived from governing the society, but they don't put themselves into their houses. Yes. Still, they are trying as much as they can to maintain the issue of the Ummah.
That's right.
You see, in the time of the caliphates, al-Rashidin,
yes,
Imam Ali alayhi salam is deprived from the power,
yes,
is deprived from the governing the society.
Okay.
But still, when they are referring to Imam Ali alayhi salam, Imam Ali tries as much as he can to solve the problem of the Ummah.
That's right.
For example, one of them was, on that time was that the conflict of the Ummah regarding to the compilation of the Quran. It
yes.
was on that time.
Yes.
Imam Ali alayhi salam saw that many are debating regarding the different versions of the Quran. Imam Ali supervised the compilation of the Quran. And alhamdulillah, today, Sunni, Shia, Ibadi, Ismaili, Zaydi, many different yes. denominations of the Islamic Ummah, they follow the Quran compiled under the supervision of Imam Ali alayhi salam. You see, even whenever they were deprived from the position, they didn't neglect the Muslim Ummah issue. They said that we have to try our best. Let's talk about Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam. He is not in his own position. He is not governing the society. Yes. He never says that I'm in the prison, just it is a time to worship God, to do nothing. No. That's He's right. sending Ali ibn Yaqtin,
yes.
his companion, to the actually governing system of the Harun al-Abbasi, yes. Yes. in a way that he supports him. Okay. And he says that, oh, Ali ibn Yaqtin, don't worry to be in this position and this governing system. You have to do your best.
That's right.
Here I would like to get a teaching from this great saying of the Ziyarah jamia Kabira. First, Ahlul Bayt were not only a mystical person. Ahlul Bayt were not only a person who was a spiritual person, but also they were politicians in positive meaning. Yes. They were maintaining the issue of the Ummah as much as they could. In some cases, the atmosphere was not prepared. In some cases, the enemies, they deprived Ahlul Bayt from their own position. And in some cases, they taught the Ummah, you have to follow us.
Especially during the time of Imam al-Baqir and Imam al-Sadiq, in this interval between the Umayyads and the Abbasids.
Yes.
The break, between, it was really how fruitful discussions, ceremonies, gatherings, teaching courses Imam al-Baqir and Imam al-Sadiq had. We could see that they were really maintaining all the affairs of the society through the teaching courses.
And they did not maintain a certain community of the society, but also the Sunnah. Ahl Sunnah, they were referring to them. You see in our sources and hadith, we have the al-Amma or al-Mukhalafin. Here the Mukhalafin never have the negative meaning. Means those who were the Ahl Sunnah, they were referring to them. So by the way, in Ahlul Bayt's teaching, to be Sasat al-Ibad means you have to have an umbrella upon the heads of the all Ummah, regardless of their belief, regardless of their actually sectarian approaches. You have to cover the mercy upon all of them, as we called in one of the phrases of the Ziyarah, jamia, kebira. They are the source of the mercy. If they are source of the mercy, they don't maintain only their issue, their personal issue, but also they maintain the social issue of the Ummah as well.
So still, why we can't say they were deprived of the rights of the power? I think the main reason was looking after the dunya and the materialistic wealth, and the kings and the aristocrats of the Quraysh, and then we can say during the Umayyads and the Abbasids were thinking only about establishing and making their palaces bigger and bigger than yesterday.
And the money, this way.
And the money, the unlawful money and the power that was over there.
That's why look how briefly Imam al-Jawad, Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam explains in this way, Sasat al-Ibad. The very answer of you is that they were not the Ibad of God.
No,
they were servant of money. They were servant of the powers. They were servant of the ahzab and parties.
That's right.
So, because they were not the Ibad. Second, they had pre-assumption in their mind that Imam is a spiritual man. He is not the Sasa. We have to think that they are Sasa of the people who are al-Ibad.
Okay, thank you very much. How to balance and make harmony between the two is the topic. We'll discuss it inshallah after our break. It was very kind of you, Sheikh Jamgiri. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, dear viewers, for watching Friends of God in His Presence, a commentary on Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira, based on the book written in Farsi language by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, Adab-e Fana-e Muqarraban. We will take a break. Come back in a minute.
وموضع الرسالة ومختلف الملائكة ومهبة الوحي ومعدن الرحمة وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهدى.
Welcome back to the program Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Atta, the host of this program. With me in the studio for today's discussion, we have a respected guest speaker, Dr. Sheikh Jamgiri. Okay, Sheikh, Sasat al-Ibad, in fact, the maintainers of the affairs of the people in the society who are the best servants of Allah, or the servants of Allah, it's better to say. I think Islam and the teachings of the Ahlul Bayt and Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam in over here are giving us a roadmap how to establish a governance, how to establish, we can say, a state and administration. Something which unfortunately after the demise of Prophet Muhammad was not followed. I mean, Imam Ali alayhi salam was selected as a true successor in order to establish such a government, in fact, in order to continue the path of Prophet Muhammad, but unfortunately it was deviated from the right path. Now, when we talk about today's world, the first thing that comes to our mind regarding the politics is secularism. and on the other side we got this divine spiritual roadmap which can help the people. By the first look, secularism might answer the daily needs of the people, but not the spiritual one. So what's the benefit of the roadmap that Imam al-Hadi gives us in Ziyarat al-Jamia al-Kabira regarding this policy making and maintaining of the affairs of the society?
Brother Atta, it seems that there is two misunderstandings of Islam. One of the misunderstandings is that Islam is not involved in social issues and political issues. That's why the supporters of this idea, they think that we have to have secular Islam in this world, in a way that Islam should be only remained in masjid and in the prayer and something like that. Islam is not allowed to come to the society. Based on their belief, we have to combine Islam with secularism. Second approach is that, and you see that how Ahlul Bayt were against of this view, and according to their view, Allah's teaching should come to on the earth.
That's right.
In the discussion of the Ahlul Bayt were the Qadatul Umam, we discussed on this part of the Ziyarah Ashura that they had three missions.
Jamia al-Kabira, you mean?
Yes, it is the phrase of the Jamia Kabira.
Yes,
before the Sasatul Ibad,
yes,
some phrases before reaching to
Okay.
Sasatul Ibad. We discussed that they had three missions.
Yes.
First, receiving the divine teaching. Second, preaching it to the community, preaching this teaching to the Ummah. And the third, materializing them,
Yes.
actualizing them
Yes.
in the society. So, and we discussed that when they were receiving the salah, they distributed to the community and also materialize it. Aqimu as-salat. They didn't teach to people just pray. They said that make the salah standing in your community, your buildings, your street, your society should actually demonstrate the teaching of the salah.
Okay.
Salah is not something in your individual behavior. You see how teaching is great.
Yes.
How you can combine this great teaching with secularism. Those who took on Islam and secularism, and they think that Islam is involved and combined with secularism, in their belief, Ahlul Bayt and the Prophet Muhammad, they were only a receiver of the teaching and distributor of the teaching,
Yes.
not more. They didn't understand the third, which is the very mission of Ahlul Bayt and the infallible
Yes.
Prophet. That is the very mistake of them. And the second mistake, so we have one which they say that Islam is not involved to the society, or they support the secularism. They say Islam is only in the masjid and prayer, something like that, just in minbar and for the preachers. Second is that they talk on Islamism like ISIS, Daesh, in a way that they want to establish Islamic State.
Okay.
But if you look at to their teaching, it is widely vice versa against the Ahlul Bayt's teaching. ISIS is establishing Islamic State. You see, he's beheading the people, telling that we are establishing Islamic society.
Okay.
They are killing the orphans. They are invading the lands, destroying the houses, saying that we are establishing the Islamic State.
So you mean extremism on both sides will damage the society?
Yeah, very true.
That's right.
But you see, just in this teaching, Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam teaches that we are the sasa, we are the leader, maintainer of the society.
That's right.
But if people accept us,
Okay.
we don't force people, we don't kill people to be the maintainer of the society.
That's right.
You see how they were
This is, yes.
how they were leading the society based on love.
This is the case that took place at the time of Imam Ali alayhi salam. You know, the people come to him to get, we can say, put bay'at, put their hands in the hands of Ali. Also, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, more than 12,000 letters were sent to Imam
Hussein alayhi salam. You know that he knew that he deserved to be in the power. Actually, let's say to be to be the maintainer of the society.
Yes.
Imam Ali knew that he deserved to be in this position.
Yes.
But when people came to him, asking him, insisting their request, then they actually came to be the Sasa of the Al-Ibad. Let's come to the discussion. We said that problem is that some people don't understand, some extremists don't understand the meaning of the Sasa.
Yes.
They think that the infallible Imams, they only are the spiritual person. That's why they talk on Islam and secularism.
That's right.
They don't know this.
Okay.
And the second extremist group, they don't understand the meaning of al-ibad. We have to be the maintainer of the al-ibad. When the people are not accepting us, you're not allowed to force them.
That's right.
And this view has been actually discussed by details by the Ayatollah Javadi Amoli in his political view of the Islam, and he explains that how relationship is between leader and the Ummah.
Okay. The relationship between the leader and Ummah, that is the last topic for today's discussion. And is it at all right to say that we have a kind of religious politics or political religion? Okay, these are from both sides, can be discussed. Let's take a break, and after we continue our discussion, inshallah. Thank you very much, Sheikh Jahangiri, and thank you very much, dear viewers, for watching Friends of God in His Presence. We'll take a break. I'm back in a minute.
فمختلف الملائكة فمهبة الوحي فمعدن الرحمن وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهم.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Atad, the host of this program. Okay, Sheikh, when we are talking about the relation between politics, administration, and Islam, we can put it in two forms. Number one is the political Islam. The other one is the Islamic politics. When we are talking about the A'imma and the Ahlul Bayt as the leader of the nations, as those who are maintaining the affairs, the socio-political and cultural affairs of the society, of which we are talking, is it political Islam or no? It is a kind of politics which is Islamic.
Actually, when we look to the Ahlul Bayt teaching, we see that they want to inspire Islamic teaching inside the politic. They do not they are not seeking to look from political side to the Islam.
So it's not political Islam.
Very
true. It is Islamic
politics.
Okay.
Actually, in their approach of the governing the society, they believe that making policy to the Ummah should be based on Islamic values and teaching.
Okay.
Based on that, we see that in the Qadatul Ummah, we discussed that their policy is different than what we discussed today. That's why they inspire politics with the values and teachings of Islam. For example, in the policy today, when they discuss, one of the very pillar of the policy today is the nationality. You are making policy based on interest of your nationality. You are invading other lands.
Okay.
You are destroying the land of the others. When you are making contract with other country, you are looking to your interest. Public interest, nationality interest is the very core of the policy today.
That's
but in Ahlul Bayt teaching, actually the nationality has no meaning.
Okay.
In their teaching, there is actually they are thinking of the nations, not nationalities. You see, in their value, there is no border among the communities. Actually, the only border among them is the values and the virtues.
And the taqwa.
The taqwa.
The best criteria in order to distinguish the
they
people.
classify the actually the communities based on the taqwa,
Yes.
not based on the borders, their skins, their nationalities, their languages. So the policy among them is different. That's why they are not looking to political Islam, but Islamic politics.
We are looking for an ideal land. You know, we know that except the time of Imam Ali alayhi salam, for about 5 years, no Imam was successful to establish a government or administration. But all the Muslims, especially the Shia ones, wish that and hope that by the presence and the reappearance of Imam al-Asr, a kind of divine government or governance or authority be established all around the world, which is ruling all over the world based on true Islamic teachings. And we still do not know, are the Islamic, we can say, governments that are doing action in the world today, are they really Islamic or not, okay? We
explained that some of them are calling as Islamic, but based on the teaching of the Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, very absolutely they are not Islamic. Just they are borrowing, or let's say they are cheating the title of Islam.
Yes. So if we want to prepare the ground for such a government, for such a, we can say, governance or authority of Imam al-Asr, Imam al-Mahdi, what should we do?
Actually, so we believe that there is actually governing system in Islamic teaching. We had in very simple actually image of that at the time of Imam Ali alayhi salam, and that is very enough of us. Just his letter to his governors Malik and the others in many areas of the Islamic lands.
Right. Especially to Malik al-Ashtar, which is very famous.
Very famous. And you know that still it is that letter is inspiring to the very governors of the modern world. We had in very little scale at the time of Imam Ali alayhi salam, but the very big image of that will be happen at the time of the Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam. So at the time of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam, everything is prepared. The hearts of the ummah, they reach to the position of to be good al-ibad, the servant of God. So one of the actually criteria of the appearance of Imam al-Zaman alayhi salam is not him, it is us. We have to be the servant of God. As much as we want to be the servant of God, we are approaching to the duhur and appearance of the Imam al-Zaman alayhi salam. Second is that we have to change the meaning of the policy today. Today, policy, as we discussed, they are thinking of the interest, money, power, parties. We have to change that.
Is it possible?
That is the duty of the Aimma, and Aimma did so. That's why whenever they saw that the policy has a negative meaning, policy is being destroyed by the politicians, they left it to the politicians. And they inspired their teaching to the community, to the ummah, saying that this form of politics is not our favor.
For example, Imam al-Husayn's alayhi salam uprising against Yazid.
Yes,
that's right.
So we have to change the meaning of the politicians. That is very duty of us. Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, by saying these teachings, and also Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, by explaining these teachings, that is the mission of us. Through this program, we are doing so. So that is very important, brother. We have to explain the meaning of the policy, Sasat al-Ibad, based on the divine teaching of the Ahlul Bayt.
That's right.
The third is that when there is al-Ibad, when there is the very actually divine meaning of the policy, Imam will come. And on that time, It is the wish of all ummah. That's why coming of the Imam al-Zaman alayhi salam, still I would like to underline that it is not the wish of coming of a person. Actually, it is the appearance and establishment of a unique government.
That's right.
There is full of peace, brotherhood, development, and so on.
That's right.
So in Shia teaching, we see the relationship between religion and policy is established by the emergence of Islam in Medina by the very Prophet.
Okay.
And also the very big image of that will happen in the very future.
That's right.
But during the history, we had Islamic revolution of Iran. Regarding your question, we have to prepare the ground. We don't call, as the Imam Khomeini and the supreme leader of Iran, Imam al-Khamenei, they never said that it is the very pure Islamic state.
Or ideal land, for example.
Yes, but it is a kind of preparing the ground.
Yes.
It is our duty. As much as we can, we have to prepare the ground by training al-ibad, by changing the meaning of the policy, in a way that the Imam will come to lead the society.
And the Islamic rulings has to be observed in all the aspects of a Muslim land and the society. Its economics, its industry, its politics, its society.
Culture.
You know, we must not act like the secular systems are acting. So our system should be as pure as possible, as clean as possible, not comparing ourselves with the countries which are ruling in the capital liberal system in today's world, in today's system of governing. But the point is that we are, as Muslims, ruling over the servants of Allah. So their right and their haqq upon our shoulder should be observed. And this is important. So when you are ruling over a servant of Allah, I think your look at them must be very much different.
That's why in the teaching of the Imam Ali alayhi salam, and also in his letter to his successors and governors in the Islamic area, is that, oh my governors, there is a right of ummah upon your shoulder, and also you as a governor, you have some rights upon the community. You see, there is both of them have right, and both should observe the right of the others.
That's right. Okay, thank you very much, Shaykh. We hope that we are given this chance and tawfiq to witness the governors of Al-Mahdi one day, which according to so many documents, authentic one, it is believed it would be based on social justice, based on, we can say, political justice, religious justice, cultural justice, and people, regardless of their color, their language, or their we can say national minority, will take part in the affairs of the society. And the people themselves become the best maintainers of the affairs of their ummah and society.
And all ummah will benefit of that atmosphere. Brother Atta, you see how Ziyarah, Jamia, Kabira is not only a recitation, it is a roadmap.
Yes.
Not only in the spiritual field, but also in governing the society.
Right.
And how Imam wisely, in brief words, taught to the Ummah that very enlightening source.
That's right.
And we have to be very thankful to the God, and we have to actually pray for the Ayatollah Javadi Amoli to have may Allah prolong his life for explaining this great teachings.
Thank you very much, Sheikh, for a fruitful discussion. It was very kind of you. And thank you very much, dear viewers, for watching Friends of God in His Presence. Till another episode and discussing another phrase out of Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira by Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, based on Adab-e Fana-e Muqarraban, a book written as a commentary on this Ziyarah by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli. God bless you all. Fi aman Allah.
وموضع الرسالة ومختلف الملائكة ومهبة الوحي ومعدن الرحمة وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهدى